Okay, class, welcome back to Problem of the Day Cheat Sheet Week 4. We're on page 6. Our learning target is I can use quadratic and linear regressions to produce an equation from the graphs and tables. So guys, the first thing that we really want to endeavor to do is to kind of identify where our major coordinates are so that we can put them in the table and then in turn put the table in our calculator. Now, I would suggest that we look at our y-axis, our y-intercepts, and our x-intercepts. For example, my y-intercept here would be 0, 6. My y-intercept here would be 0, negative 6. Here, 0, negative 6. Here, my y-intercept would be, say, 2 and 3. And so, for our y-intercepts, we remember our first number is 0, followed by a comma, and then the actual point. Now, if I was looking at my x-intercepts, I would take a look here. It looks like it's negative 2 and 3. Here, it could be negative 3, and this is negative 2. Negative 2 and negative 3. And here, it looks like it's 2 and 3. Okay, so what does that look like? And I went through quick, kind of fast. You take a minute, pause the video, and see if you agree with me. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you're able to write down these points for yourself. And each point is a coordinate. Now we got to remember that we only need 3 coordinates to do a regression. 5 is probably better, but you can just use 3. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my table where I'm going to put all my x's in L1 and all my y's in L2. And I'm going to basically hit second graph, or I'm going to hit. Okay. So as I said, in our calculator, we want to store these values. And then we want to go to Stat, Calc, and we're working with a quadratic. So we're going to hit 5. We're going to hit Enter. And we notice my a goes in front of my x, so it's x squared. B goes in front of my x, so it's x squared plus 5x. And my c goes last, so that would be kind of making this, rounding this up. This will all turn into 1 and 5. Easy peasy. Let's go again. I'm going to do the same thing for my second equation. I'm going to store these values here in my L1 and L2. Okay, I'm going to hit I'm going to hit Stat, Calc, 5, and realize that my quadratic regression is going to give me A is 1, B is 1, and C is negative 6. And again, A goes in front of X, B goes in front of A goes in front of x squared, B goes in front of x, and C comes last, and that's what my C would look like. Keeping it moving. Table 2, I said negative 2, 3, 0, and 0, 0, negative 6. All right, hit my stat, hit my calc, hit number 5. What I should have is 1 and negative 6. Put it in as such. And finally, for my fourth equation, ditto same thing. And I should have 1, negative 5, 6. Put in our calculator, easy peasy, linear regression. Our final question. This comes from my January 18th quiz. It says, what are the zeros for a function if I have -3 and 5? -3 and 5. Well, what am I doing with that? Well, real quick, you guys probably saw this coming. Put it in factor form, where x plus something, parentheses, times x plus something, parentheses. Take the opposite of -3, get +3. Take the opposite of 5, get -5. Put that in my calculator. I look for my vertex, yeah. And my vertex is the number that is the lowest. And then it asks specifically for the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is always my x value of my vertex. So x equals 1, therefore my axis of symmetry is 1. Hey, we're all wrapped up here with that learning target. Okay, for those of you that are going on to page number 6, all right, or 7, all right, hurry back.